Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Abigail, the ultimate guru, and with me, as always, is my co-host, the world's only comedian, Bryden Proctor.
Hello.
And also, Rick is here. We love Rick, don't we?
Hola.
Yay.
Kind of
Of
fucking
course.
split on Rick at the moment.
Yeah, well, he is Mexican, so.
Holy shit, really?
No, I'm
Yeah,
Peruvian, man.
Oh, that's like the same thing. That's just like,
It's
exactly.
it's basically the same thing, except our food is better and we're quieter.
aren't you like Peru's like, you're like a little country.
Yeah, little country.
Yeah. Mexico's a pretty decent size one.
Well, I mean, compared to America, every country's a little country. I mean, come on
Sure.
now.
But I mean, you got like Russia. Russia's fucking huge. We don't, we're not in
Yeah,
here.
but it's like mostly uninhabited.
Sure. But I mean, technically,
Oh my
most
god.
of America is rather uninhabited as well, as far as, I don't
Is
want to
this
get,
the geography podcast? Is that what we're doing right now? You don't
This
have
is
to
geography
worry
hour.
no,
about a
I
thing
wouldn't.
because we are here to help you locate Zimbabwe on a map.
I wasn't
Me
going.
Rhodesia.
Yeah, I wasn't going
Sorry.
geography. I was thinking more of like, people worth saving. Been playing a lot of Fallout.
Oh, gosh. Not the Peruvians, then. We're just leaving them.
Oh, nobody.
No, it's fine.
Who the fuck is launching a nuke near Peru?
Yeah, seriously, come on now.
I never thought about
That's a
this.
good point.
In the Fallout games, like, all right, you assume like, it's fucking, World War, all that. China's involved, the U.S. Um, we've never had like, there's no mention, as far as I know, of like what is Africa or Peru or Egypt or, well, I guess that's Africa, but like we know the Russians are
Well, because
involved. What
America is where
Hawaii?
God pays attention.
That's true. That's why we get aliens over here.
Well, you gotta think
Exactly.
about it, though. Imagine if all foreign aid stopped. Like, there's a lot of hungry, sick people, and
Yeah,
a
somehow they're
lot
gonna
of them.
starve without their gay flags being slapped onto the embassy.
Yeah, they're gonna start traveling, is what I'm saying. They're gonna start moving.
Wait, are you saying that like Fallout and Dying Light are in the same universe?
Yes.
They just become zombie people.
Yes. The hordes come up through the
Yeah,
forests that
yeah.
separate southern
Yeah,
and
can you
northern
imagine like
Africa.
a horde of people just jumping over the board? There's no way that would happen in real life.
Not millions and millions a year, yeah.
No, I'm just fucking bummed and
Yeah.
annoyed that the goddamn election's not over. Just give me the bad news already. All right, just let's cut to the chase. Give me the bad news, and I can start fucking looking at AI images of Kamala Harris's tits and laughing about them.
For one, I'm
There's
super
like negative
excited
blue
about
balls.
our first woman president.
Bro,
Oh God,
we
I'm so
I'm
sad.
gonna have to explain this to my girl. I got two girls, so this defining moment of history is gonna be like, sweetie, she's a witch, and witches are in charge of the government now. Witches are real. She's one of them, sweetie.
Just show her one of the compilations of her just cackling. That'll seal the deal.
I'm gonna show her the scene from the witches, the old one. When
Yeah.
they all transform and they're all cackling and with their hair off. I'm gonna tell her that that's a live broadcast from the Oval Office.
Oh, Rick, I don't think you've heard this story, but my kids will watch stuff on Netflix, and you know how the Obamas have a deal with Netflix, so they do
Yeah.
content for
Uh-huh.
them?
Yeah, make it gay.
My
Yeah.
kids, I keep trying to tell them, hey, that's the president. That's the ex-president. That's the ex-president's wife. So they understand like their place in like the timeline of
Their place
American
in the
history,
world.
right? But they always forget. So, Waffles and Moki comes on and Michelle Obama is just the lady that talks to puppets, is what I'm saying.
Wait. We might have gone over this.
Yeah.
Is Michelle Obama really the host of a show called Waffles and Moki?
No, she's not. The puppets host the show, and she pops on to talk to them about racism while they cook food sometimes.
Why would you show that to your children?
Yeah, I
Well,
mean, I've got
I
questions.
just look.
I'm not showing my kids Big Mike, you
Yeah.
know,
It
flaunting his
it
Adam's apple around public like he's a person like everyone else.
it
Also,
wasn't on purpose. She's not on every episode. And then one day I walk back in the room. I'm doing chores around the house. I walk back in, and there's Michelle Obama up on the screen talking about races, and I'm like, kids, You need to understand what's going on here. This woman
Kids,
used to be in the
racism is
White
funny.
House.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even in the name, waffles. You know, when they pitched that, they were like, "All right, I got an idea. Michelle Obama will show up sometimes. We're going to call it waffles and chicken." They were like, "Fuck no, we're not doing that." Okay, we can sneak it in with mochi. You know, that's some Asian thing, right? That they're gonna cook food all the time, collard greens every fucking day.
Yeah.
Put bacon fat in everything. Hey, it's me,
Just deep
Michelle
fry
Obama.
everything.
Yeah, it's me, Michelle Obama. How's it going? School lunches. That's his. Netflix has gone
goodness.
downhill. You know, they just gave Ellen DeGeneres a fucking special, right?
Oh, I'm sure. Oh my goodness.
Ellen DeGeneres, who has been on comedy for 40 years.
Going downhill implies that they were uphill at some point.
I don't know. They had some good shows, right? Black Mirror, pretty good.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
used to be,
that's gone to shit. That show was tanked so bad.
Really? Shit. Well, that's a
The
shame.
I thought it was
first bit
the
was
last one they did with
really
Miley
good.
Cyrus. No, that wasn't the last one. The one before the current season. The like you could tell that was like the for me it was like the nail in the coffin. It was just not salvageable.
Bro,
They
See,
no.
did the
the
Miley Cyrus
only
one. It was just like it was literally just like a Hannah Montana episode with swearing.
it's
Okay.
funny because that's the only episode of that season I thought was good at all. Was
What?
the one
Oh,
with
geez.
her because
Oh,
I
Abby has
liked
bad taste.
What the fuck are first of all, it was a fine episode. I guess it's fine, whatever. I didn't hate
Oh,
I
you
it.
thought it
both
was
had bad
cute.
taste.
But you know, listen to me. You are both forgetting the best episode, which was the two guys who did the VR fighting game.
Yeah, no, that one I did not enjoy.
Niggas
Is what I'm
kissing.
saying. I didn't like the gay VR weird
It has
thing.
the best fucking line ever. I fucked a panda and I still couldn't stop thinking of you. What are you talking about? That was the best one. Dueling Dragons or whatever. It's amazing.
The best part was at the end they had like worked out deals with their wives to be allowed
Yeah, they
to
just
do
like
it. Oh my god.
they just like settled into hell. They're just the wife's cheating. They're having like gay VR sex. I'm like, oh man, these guys are doomed.
It was
Oh gosh.
it was one of the best pieces of cinema ever. What are you talking about? This shit was so funny.
I thought it was pretty fucking crazy. Yeah.
The thing though, I don't think it was supposed to be like that funny.
There's no
Yeah,
way.
it wasn't intentionally like like it wasn't pro the events depicted, but it wasn't like anti them either.
I
Yeah, it
fucked
was
a
pretty
panda.
straightforward.
I fucked a panda and I still couldn't stop thinking of you.
That's
Is a
pretty good.
line that I can never forget because it's amazing.
All right, you guys want to get into the Dear Abbeys? I only have one this week.
Okay, well, I'm sure it's from somebody really cool.
It is. It's from our most valued listener, or whatever the hell the trophy I gave her was. I don't remember what it was called.
I
but we
forgot that
appreciate her.
happened.
Yeah, I handed out an award. Dear Abby, could you ask Dr. Proctor, so it's a Dr. Proctor,
Oh, well, that's different.
staged as a Dear Abby, I don't understand, how to get over a recently acquired egg intolerance. Life is hard. I also think I can beat you in a fight, but we'll talk about it next time. She cannot beat me in a fight. First of all, she's like shorter than Bryden, which is hard to do.
Sure, I'm just wondering who she wanted to fight. Actually, I'm glad it
Me.
was you. Okay,
Me.
then yeah. I mean, maybe.
She's been threatening to fight me for days, just in my DMs.
Oh, what a fucking psycho. You should. You know how you could. You know how you could beat her is feed her some eggs.
I could do
Yeah,
that.
just fling some egg at her.
Yeah,
She should try eating the eggs raw.
Yeah, I was gonna say take the yolk out of them and then just see which one you're allergic to. But
Taking the yolk out, you might as well just not even have the egg.
okay. Listen, we don't have to get into my struggles over here about I'm fucking doing egg whites and shit.
Because he has
Oh.
high cholesterol.
I have
'cause
high.
He's gay.
Oh man, you're falling for the cholesterol meme too. Wow, damn.
That's what the doctor said.
Sucker.
You know, Abby has high testosterone though, so you know
I
a little
do.
different.
I'm doing good.
Yeah, I don't think you're doing great.
Hey, you guys hear the rain?
No. No, I
Okay,
barely
good.
hear you because of your choices that have made me resent you in some ways that you have an
You're
entire microphone
You
inside.
you're welcome. You're welcome.
you resent me, and I have a perfect, beautiful, clear audio quality.
Your
There's no
refund is in the
pleasing me.
mail, by the way.
Abby, I mean, your mic's most of the time fine.
Hmm.
Look, if you got an egg intolerance, split the yolk from the white. See which one you're allergic to. If you're allergic to both of them, then guess what? You can't fucking have eggs anymore. So you got to use these like weird vegan soy fucking eggs, and then that won't be good. But if you're just like, well, I guess I can't have fried eggs anymore, which is the better route to go than a vegan egg, is just start using flaxseed to thicken things up. I mean, outside of that, you're just kind of out of luck, buddy. I'm sorry about your egg thing. Maybe it's just the shells. I don't know. Are you eating
She's
shells?
Yeah, that's what it is. She's just
A lot of
eating.
calcium in those. Just crunch them up. But most allergies can be defeated by slow, periodic exposure. So
Mhm.
have a tiny bit of egg.
Sure.
See how little egg you have to have before like too much gets you sick, and to have that, and after a while step it up, and eventually after like 5 years you can have a single egg.
Well, if she's
Look forward to it.
well, I mean, the thing is, like, if she, has an allergy this late in life, it might be from overexposure to eggs, which is how many goddamn eggs are you eating all the time that now you're allergic to eggs?
That's a good question. She could just be eating them all day.
Yeah, I mean, I like a pickled egg. I love me a pickled egg, dude. I'll have a couple a week.
Oh,
Pickled
she
eggs.
also she wrote in recently asking about losing weight. So I think the eggs might have been the problem there too.
I think you should
Mm,
eat a single egg every day, and that's it,
yeah.
and you'll solve both your problems.
Damn.
There we go. And you can't beat me in a fight. I will kick your ass, and I promise you I will.
Abby, you've never fought anybody.
No, but I will this time. Okay, and I'll do a good job. I've watched so much Xena and Buffy. Surely I've picked something up.
So you're gonna
Yeah,
just do
yeah.
spin kicks in high heels. That's your move.
Yes.
It's
In
like
the
the Matrix. Just
cutest.
watching it like downloads it to your brain.
It's going to be great.
That is how I learned to be racist, was just by watching it. So maybe that's true.
All right, everyone, we're going to get into our Reddit advice segment now. Do you like my jingles, Rick?
No,
Oh,
Thank you, dude. They're fucking
no, I think they're
gay.
great. They're fine. They're all right. I've heard better.
thank you.
You've
Can you do a
heard
better
back.
jingle?
I'm sorry. What?
Can you do a better jingle?
No.
Oh god, you're no fun. You're no fun. All right. Sorry, from Am I the Asshole? My girlfriend told me she's leaving if I don't marry her in 9 months.
Dude, that's
Uh,
your out.
yeah.
Time to put up or shut up, buddy.
I mean, if you have a problem with this, then surely you don't want to marry her.
Yeah, and also like he's a redditor, so it's not like they're gonna do anything but like just be from a teenage boyfriend girlfriend the rest of their lives anyway.
Bro, this is your out. That's it. Just take the opportunity and go, you know what? You're right. I am totally immature and just like playing video games and getting drunk and riding motorcycles.
Yeah,
You should
like if you're
leave.
gonna do it, at least be honest and not waste someone's time. But like maybe we'll get married someday. It's like you're 35. It's time to pull the trigger, or it's can die in your grave.
Well, let's read the actual story and see. Howdy, folks.
Too late. I made my mind up.
Per my last post, I guess she broke up with me last night. I'm
Nice.
21 and she is 22. We've been dating for about 3 months.
Oh shit! This bitch is crazy.
I take back what I said. The fuck?
Yeah, that's
No, buddy, stop.
So I think my advice is still please break up with her.
yeah, dude.
Yeah,
All you did was you were like, well, had some okay sex for 3 months. Time to move on with my life. But I would imagine, and maybe I'm wrong. I would imagine they're already living together and moved in within 3 months. You know, like lesbians or something.
She is behaving a lot like a lesbian.
Are
That's
these
true.
Yeah,
not?
this is some U-hauling over here.
Yeah, these aren't lesbians. This is a normal relationship.
I don't think so. I think that this is a normal relationship. I mean, it seems
Wait,
like it.
wait. Let's continue hearing the
Mhm.
story. I gotta hear the whole thing now.
She told me recently that if I don't plan on marrying her in 9 months, to let her know right now so she can leave and find someone else.
Wait, also a second. 9 months is a pretty specific thing that's associated with something that in a new relationship would concern me a little
Mm.
bit.
Well, that's fair, but also 1 year is. So they've been dating for 3 months and she says 9 months. That would be a year. There's a lot of like people are really hooked on this like dating content and like life
Yeah,
coach stuff right now. So you've got the red pill guys and then you've got every other version of like dating discourse you could even imagine. And so
yeah.
some of
Just
the
like a
women are like, you have to, get a ring within a year. I mean, I don't think you should be dating a guy for 5 years without one, but a year might not be enough, especially at 22 years old.
No
Yeah.
guy,
yeah.
no guy at the age of 21 is going to be like, "Well, I've been dating her for a year." You're right. It is not. It is 1953. I guess I should marry my best gal. It's
Yeah,
that's
is she like ultra trad and he's like some normie ass dude? What's going on here?
yeah.
This is probably female dating strategy stuff, which is more
Uh,
feminist.
Oh,
I would
you
imagine. It doesn't say that anywhere in the post, but those circles
you got that
also
vibe.
say the same stuff as the trad women,
no
for
with that.
sure.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that female dating strategy shit is like, and then we'll get divorced in our 30s, and I just took the past 12 years of his life and all of his income. Like that's. I listen. I admire the hustle. If you can't do anything else, but that's yeah. You got to understand why the guy would not want to do that. That's
Let's
insane.
see.
That's
Now
insane. He should
this
kill her. Actually, he should strangle her.
Yeah, you just die.
she's probably gonna stab him in his sleep if he doesn't be careful. Now this might not sound crazy to you all, but I'm in flight school. I'm also separately enrolled in college, so I'm not ready for marriage quite yet. I explained this to her, and I also mentioned how we've been together for 3 months, and in my own personal opinion, 9 more isn't nearly enough time to decide if I want to spend the rest of my life with you. That did not go over well. She listened, and she responded, "Don't waste my time."
Okay, see you, bitch.
I told
Yeah,
her
look, is
if.
she?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I told her if she wanted to marry so soon, I need a prenup to protect myself. She declined
Nice.
and reiterated that I don't trust her. I went on about college plus flight instruction is going to be hard enough, and I spoke about timing. Her argument was that having a wife and kids will make everything easier.
That's fucking crazy. Get away from the broad. No, no. Steve
Look,
Harvey talked about this. Steve fucking Harvey,
look.
great mustache. Let me get this out, Rick.
Sure,
Steve
same
Harvey
here.
talked about this. He fucking, he said women got a biological clock, men have a financial clock. So he's thinking about his financial clock. I've got this much time to make this much money. And she is, I don't even thinking about her biological clock. I think she's going, this is what my friends are doing. Is she in flight school? What's she doing? Does he mention that? That's
Nope.
crazy. This woman doesn't sound like a great lady. I think she's already pregnant.
Here's what's crazy. Here's what's crazy. The way they're both talking to each other through this, the way I'm hearing in this story, it's just like this is like ancient pagan cults. This is like two two people who are just being manipulated by their gods at each other. Like they're like puppets for the content creators they listen to, and they're
Yes.
just like flinging their shit at each other. They're not even like communicating anymore.
I get what you're
I think
saying, but I don't know any flight school content creators.
No. It's not the flex, but like the way he phrases things, the way she's phrasing things, they're just flinging the content that they've had their
yeah, the
brain
the
colonized by at each other.
So yeah, the prenup thing, I could see where you would get that because the prenup does nothing for marital assets. He has nothing right now. He's 21 years old
We
and
don't
still
know
in
that.
school.
Hold on.
Well, it's
No,
very,
no, no,
he
no.
doesn't mention that he
Context.
has anything.
We don't. How long have you been doing this show and you can't pick up on context clues? What 21-year-old do you know that's in college and in flight school? All right, his family and the way she's acting, his family, and as a result, him likely has a decent amount of money. I wasn't. Abby, were you in
Uh,
flight school at 21? Because I
well, no,
wasn't.
but there's a lady that lives down the street who has like a disabled husband, like he's got no legs and he's on disability or something, and she it works at a gas station and took out some student loans and is in flight school. Like it's definitely not like an out of reach. Like I have known people who went to flight school. It's not like it costs as much as going to be a doctor.
That seems anecdotal. But
Yeah, I
let's
I'm
heard
just
just
that
pull
saying
it's
it's
up.
not
super
that big a deal.
expensive, and that like the thing that people did was like they would get their flight school training in the in the military by being pilots, and when they would retire from the military, then they could have a job as a pilot. But now that all this shit is being done by drones, there's a lot of guys. There's not as many pilots leaving the military,
Right. Well,
Wait,
I mean, and also another
and so there's a
anecdote is I
yeah.
have an in-law who was talking to me like, "Oh, I ran the numbers and we could totally afford for me to go to flight school and then also buy a plane, which only costs like twice as much as a nice truck, like a little like few
I
seats
don't think that that's
plane.
true. I
Like
think
she's
that
not gonna do
person's.
commercial
I
airlines,
suddenly
but
want to
like
buy a tiny plane.
I don't think that that's true. But also, I just googled it. This is ATB flight school. How much does it cost to become a pilot? It costs $108,995 to become a pilot when starting with no previous experience. Uh,
is that talking about like flying for an airline
I
or
would
just
imagine, yeah.
being licensed to fly a plane?
So
Because those are
yeah,
two
You guys
different
let's.
see, you can buy
things.
one of those tiny planes with the one guy sits in it, and it's like a little metal, like
Yeah.
a freaking lawnmower thing. Yeah, I could buy one of those regular.
Yeah, like
I don't
people
know how
just
much it
do that.
costs. Co-
You can
cost
get one that's
to
like 4 seats,
get a
six
pilot.
seats,
Yeah,
and
well,
it's
that's
like
okay.
No,
A
this is like
pilot.
for me to go to work.
Okay, a recreational pilot. Yeah, that's not that bad, but it's still $10,300 is what Google says the first thing. But that's on Ind. Oh no, that's on Indeed.com. So those are
Awful.
always wrong.
Yeah.
Pilot license cost. Well, this is a big range. Anywhere from $6,000 to $20,000. That's like saying
yeah.
anywhere from 15 to 100%.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't know how much
anyway,
it costs.
my point was just that there are tons and tons of internet content creators talking about prenups as if it's something that every single guy should have. So right now, I do believe that over the last like 15 years, it has gotten into the popular consciousness that you could just get a prenup and not, even if you don't have anything. And that also affects assets gathered during marriage. And it does not, unless you specifically put it in there. And even then, it'll probably get overturned if you did that because assets gathered during marriage are supposed to be split evenly, regardless of prenups.
And
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 people legitimately do not know that. And it sounds
Wow.
like this guy might not know that, is my
and here
point.
and here's Abby once again to tell you why women are oppressed in the court system. Uh, but you know, fine. I think
I
everybody
never
should.
said that.
Oh, you've never said that. We need to
No,
have
what I
another
have
fucking
said is
family
that
court
the
decision.
reason, no, the only thing I have said about that is not that women are oppressed in the court system, is that the accommodations made are specifically for a situation where you have a stay at home mom who has no resume, no work history, and is going to be starting off with absolutely nothing at a minimum wage job. Like, that's who those things are for.
Great.
Being
Those
Yeah.
women don't typically
abused
exist.
is that's
I
whatever,
know one
okay, because
literally
that's
in my
every
church that
divorce
this
I
happened
know
to.
of.
3 kids. The husband decided he's an atheist and wants to be a dickhead somewhere else.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Bam.
it's to
The the
protect
the, the,
those
the
people.
lady who had designed her entire life around stay-at-home mother suddenly got the rug pulled out from her by this asshole.
That
Yeah,
rarely. Okay, I'm sorry.
but
You
you
got
cannot
listen,
say that
Orthodox.
rarely
Hey, yeah,
happens.
it does rarely happen.
That's
You're either
retarded.
nope. You either we live in a godless country and you Orthodox guys are right, and we need to turn to tradition and all of that shit, or
That's right.
yeah. See, okay, so you agree with that? We live in a godless country and these things don't fucking happen, or it's the reality of it for either spiritual fucking society reasons or just economic reasons. Most places are two working parent households. So, and those
Sure.
types of things should be fucking reformed. Well, it's really the last one. It's really the last one because weirdos who are coming up now don't have the luxury of
Right.
of having
So
that going on. So let's reform him and stop fucking over men. So Abby
no,
is going to vote for Kamala Harris.
income household, you will not get alimony. You absolutely, the wife will not get alimony unless he was making like hundreds of
She's-
thousands more than her. And
It's any
she
more
will
than her.
get only a very tiny amount of child support. This is part of why child support payments on average are like under $1,000 a month. Absolutely, it's like $400 a month or something, because there is mostly two-parent households, and child support is based on the incomes we're dealing with. So you're right, but those are not the cases anyone is bringing up where the woman is getting all of this stuff and alimony and money, because in those cases, that's the protections for stay-at-home moms. Like if you have a two-income household where the woman and the man are both contributing and everything, things being split evenly does not take much from the husband.
Listen to
So
this
that's not the
Democrat.
cases. What you're talking
Listen to
about
this Democrat,
is
folks.
people for their own purposes, to push their own agendas,
Like
to
you.
sell their content, to sell their like coaching courses and things, are conflating two different things and feeding you propaganda, Bryden.
This is typical Abby, typical Democrat Abby, pushing this nonsense. Oh, I'm not really a feminist. Feminist propaganda. Oh, I'm not really a feminist. Walks it back when obviously proven wrong. We see it all the time.
Wait,
We see it all the
wait.
time.
Did you
are
prove her wrong?
So dishonest.
Wait. But did you prove her wrong? I
Yeah.
didn't hear that part. I heard her say a lot of facts, which I could be like predicting, be like, hold on, step her and Google everything you said. Or I could be like, okay, it sounds like she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah,
But
we
I
either
didn't hear
live in a
anything from your side that said, here's the reasons why you're wrong. I just heard you call her a feminist.
Well,
Yeah,
that
she
proves
is a
me wrong, right, Rick?
Well, what?
That proves me wrong, right, Rick?
Yeah, White Knight
That's
Rick.
what everyone thinks.
Hold on, White Knight Rick. Is that right?
Hey, you cannot call me a white knight, brother.
Hold on.
That is for both.
I mean, I don't know, White Knight Rick. Is that right? No,
Maybe
she's
you're
obviously
just
trying to get to
wrong.
the truth.
Maybe
Truth
he's
of the
allowed
matter.
to defend me.
no. Oh yeah, no, the truth, and act as a shield to defend thy lady. But she's very clearly a feminist, and that's the root of the issue, is that she's always denied being a feminist, and we know, those of us that are involved with the show and listen to the show, we know that Abby is in fact a feminist. Hashtag Abby is a
Oh,
feminist.
she's super crypto feminist, 100%. Everyone knows that.
See, there you go.
Everyone
Prove me
knows
right.
that. It's not revelatory.
But you have to say, just because your enemy is making a criticism doesn't mean you're wrong. I mean, it doesn't mean he's wrong. The solutions could be wrong, but is the diagnosis correct?
Well,
Is there a problem?
The
Maybe the
diagnosis,
feminist tool set does not have the solution to solve the problem in the right way, but is it a
Yes.
fair criticism of an existing problem?
Sure, the existing problem is either A, we live in a godless country, like, you guys, you swear in your orthodoxy is, or, those are outdated laws because we don't live in a godless country.
So then
Wait, I don't
if
understand.
we
Wait.
get rid of those laws, you will not have anyone like me anymore who stays home and homeschools the kids.
Holy
like,
shit.
You just
Wait.
eliminate me completely.
Okay,
What's
I
the
vote for
paradox here, Bryden? Can you
I
elaborate
vote.
that paradox for me? That we live in a God country or we don't? I'm not sure if I'm understanding
I did
what
say
you're claiming is the paradox.
I did say it wrong, and you are stepping on the fact that I vote for whatever gets Abby out. But so we either live in a godless country, and we don't need the court system set up the way that we have now because there are just working women, or there are still these trad women out there, and we need to protect them. I think was what I was saying there. But there's just because there's not so many of them. So then why wouldn't we get rid of them anyway? I want more laws to get Abby out of things.
So it's applied case by case, though. Bryden is specifically what I said, where they take all of this information. That's what divorce court is they're going over the information and working it out. But the thing is that almost all divorces and the terms within the contract that they sign are settled out of court and agreed on by both parties. So the ones that make it to court at all are typically the ones that are nasty and contentious, and both of the parties are being pretty rough about it.
Oh my god, I
stopped
listening.
One or both are being pretty rough about it. But
it depends
when
how
it goes
Jewish
to
the
court,
divorce lawyer is.
Well, that too, because they will push for you to do some pretty scummy things. I have heard tales from people in my own life who've gone through divorces. It's
Oh,
like,
don't
yeah, the
worry, you will
lawyers
too.
were pushing for the scummiest things. What?
Oh, you will too. Don't
Oh,
worry.
don't curse.
I'm gonna talk him
Don't.
into that. I'm gonna be like, listen, she can't even clean up glass after a cup has been broken.
Oh no! Wait, what?
You need to get out of this bad situation, brother.
He's gonna try to convince my husband to divorce me, is what he's saying.
Just for the bit too. When he shows up at my door, suitcase in hand, I'm gonna go. Don't you know who I am, dumbass?
Oh
Troll.
yeah. He's gonna divorce me and run into the arms of his sweet, sweet Bryden. That's what's gonna
I
happen.
I will make it happen.
That's okay. I'm taking Erica. If that happens, I'm taking your girl.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll just trade.
I'll bet you would. I'll bet you'd like that. I'll bet you'd like that.
Well, she's
All right,
pretty
I think we
lady.
need another Red story.
Yes, we do. This one is about mom stuff. That's always fun. Hello,
Wait, that was the end of
moms.
it. That was the end
I'm
of the
a
last
pause.
Yeah,
one.
that was it. That
They
was
was
the end
just
of it. Yeah.
what did people have to say about it? Were they told him he was a
Ah.
prick, right?
That she's crazy, but he should be sympathetic because she might be like mentally ill was something someone said.
It's
Oh, no.
fucking
Something,
Reddit.
yeah.
You don't be
Fucking Reddit
sympathetic.
response.
Yeah, you don't be the only thing that they should have said was that bitch is crazy. Get away. It shouldn't be. Well, you got to be sympathetic. You should probably marry her. Uh,
Well, no. I don't think anybody wants them to get married. They're just like, look, I think the mildest thing was like, clearly you two want different things in your lives. Maybe you should
Yeah, you can't
split and
bully
find
someone into
those
marrying you.
things. Yeah.
I
That's not the.
I bet
If
you
you gotta
could.
bully them into it, it's not a good. It's not a good
Well, that's
arrangement.
the thing. These women, and it's like, you're absolutely correct that your time is being wasted. And so, once you determine that he's just not going to do it, tell him, like, hey, by the way, I was looking for this. It's not happening. I'm leaving. That's his last chance to be like, oh shit, I didn't realize this. But you don't like nag him about it and you don't give him ultimatums. You just leave. Or at least say, hey, I'm leaving, by the way, and see if he does anything. If not, leave.
Yeah, and fellas, if she ever says I'm leaving, by the way, especially with that fucking tone, just go, yeah, see ya. I'm gonna play Madden with the boys.
There you go. You'll be happier with your video games, I'm sure.
I mean, literally, yeah, dude, fucking probably. All right, if some lady is gonna leave you because after 3 months you won't marry her, yeah, you're better off. And dude, the internet is out there, filled with, I would assume, I don't know, but pages of prostitutes.
Oh no.
I think you'd be fine. You can meet someone at church or at a bar or, at the grocery store or something like that.
Look,
But in the
I'm
meantime,
all for going to church, but right now, all the young people at church are all dudes.
well, it is the modern world after all. So maybe,
No, not in the churches. It ain't.
well, I've seen the Catholic Church.
Depends on which church.
Yeah,
to be
I don't,
honest.
Depends on the church.
There's-
Depends on the church. If you're an
But-
Episcopalian, then
yeah, yeah,
Go
them
for
Methodists. There's a lot. There's a lot out
the
there.
Episcopalian.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
Yeah,
All right.
as soon as I read like a Reddit story, I rarely ever go to the comments because it's always gonna be the same bullshit every single time. Like I can just like predict it
Well,
with zero effort.
all right.
Yeah.
That's the purpose of the show, though.
Oh yeah,
So,
I wouldn't know. No, I never listened to a single episode.
Once again, did you lie to me or are you lying now, Rick?
I'm lying now. I've heard a couple.
Okay. I'm
It's
so
fine.
confused.
it's fine. I don't listen to the fucking show either. I don't blame you for not listening to the fucking show. I like it just fine. The fact that you don't listen to the show is back on the positive camp where I'm like, okay, maybe he is kind of cool. I like that.
Okay. Dude, no, stop. Don't discourage people from listening.
Oh yeah, because they want me to like them.
No, I guess not. They like
If they're listening to
your
this, they're
anger.
already listening to it. So that's that.
That's true. They can't stop. It's the law.
Exactly. You can't pause it.
I'll fucking come after you so hard if you pause it.
The sponsors
I had
will
to-
be
I had
unhappy.
to stop him from assaulting, mentally, emotionally, Someone,
Sexually.
who stopped listening. What?
What?
Someone who quit the Patreon.
You have a Patreon? Why would you get a Patreon?
Well, for the
You got
cool $43 a month.
$43.
That's split two
Yeah,
ways.
that's
We're making bank.
You gotta buy like one burger a month.
Well,
I haven't spent a cent. It's just sitting there. It's like nothing.
I can't have burgers anymore unless they're turkey burgers.
I was
Take the bread off.
considering. I think in a year I might be able to buy like a new nice mic.
Mm.
It's been 2 years. I just need to go one more.
I got an extra snowball mic I can mail you.
I have one of those actually.
I got a black one and a white one.
No.
But I've got
colors that come.
I've got a blue Yeti going right now.
Yeah, it's the worst mic, but it's fine.
Sorry, it's what I got.
Better than my phone.
What is that? Is that a Sublime song I'm thinking of?
What?
I don't remember how it goes. Sorry, nothing.
Are you
anyway.
what is your fucking? You're just thinking things out loud like that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You know what happens when you think things.
It's what I got. I don't know. What song is that I'm thinking?
Yeah, that's what I got. Sublime.
I
Yeah,
got no
like
crystal ball.
The two songs people know, not all the other trashy ones on their album
Yeah,
that no one cares about.
Yeah, dude, Sublime fucking kind of sucks, dude.
They suck, dude. They suck.
I mean, it's a fucking Bob Marley cover band that got really famous and that faggot died. Like, who cares?
It's the only reason they're famous because they have two okay songs and and the guy died.
Yeah,
I think I've only heard those two songs ever. I don't think I've ever heard another one.
I was gifted an album of theirs, and I'm like, I'm throwing this away. This album sucks.
There's the one I don't practice Santeria. I got no crystal ball. There's that one, and then there's fucking Date Rape.
Date Rape. I remember the name of it. Obviously, I can't remember the name, how the song went. But they had another one called "I Smoked Two Joints." And it was I smoked 2 joints in the evening. I smoked 2 joints at night. And it's like, shut up,
two
man.
joints before I smoked 2 joints. Yeah. So they've got 3.
Feed the Gators, bro.
They got 3 fucking songs. You know, I don't know. Fuck Sublime.
I'm sorry that I've upset you to this degree.
Well, I'm gonna go piss and make a drink. So you do this story, I'll come back.
You're not gonna hear the story.
You text me the story.
No, I'm not gonna text you the fucking story. He does this, even when it's just us two, and I have to monologue. I have to literally, like, I'm Rand Paul or something. I sit here filibustering because I don't know what else to do when I'm alone. I could never do a solo podcast.
Oh, man. I used to do a solo podcast.
Yeah, it's a skill. I would just sit there embarrassing myself the whole time.
You know, the way you do it is, you after the first, like, 6, throw those away, and you just get used to being able just to blab on. You get that gift of gab, like the part of your brain just like there's like a running stream, and you just kind of just tap that and just go blah 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 blah. I do it all the time now.
You know, I bet that would be really therapeutic, even if you didn't post it anywhere, but just to do.
Well, back when we had Roma's Burning, I had like 10 unreleased episodes we never released. Obviously, that's not released. That's what it means. But yeah, and like half of them are just like me waiting for the other guys and just like talking about something I read. Yeah, it was fun, man. It was fun. It was a fun time having a show.
Nice. I remember listening to it, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, way back in the day. We were friends back then too, but we could talk about that later.
I can't remember that. The only
I had different names.
Okay. The only, and I put strong quotes around this, girl I knew back then was the infamous Trad Grace.
Oh man. Okay, yeah, that's not me. Not me.
Yeah. No. I've heard Trad Grace's voice, so I know it's not.
Oh gosh.
And people don't remember. Like, people will say jokes based on Trad Grace's account that they don't know that that's the origin of the jokes. Like the whole like, oh, I'm a girl, and then in parentheses male. That was Trad Grace.
Yeah, well, it's not just him either. There were so many of them that we would just find something.
Yes, there was a few of those for sure, but Trad Grace was the
it-
first one. That dude.
Yeah, it was just kind of a thing where I guess it makes sense though, because if you have all of this like very performative femininity, because people are trying to get in touch with what that means after a lifetime of being steered kind of away from it. So you have all these people just performing things they don't understand and they don't feel. It's like a cargo cult thing, right? Like
Yeah.
this is what people used to do, we're going to do it now. That attracts people that are trans. Like that is the same exact
Yes.
mindset. Like that's
Yes.
going to attract mentally ill men. There's no way it won't because it's the
But
exact same thing.
I think he being the first one was less fetishy about. Obviously, the whole thing is fetishy, to begin with. But like in the performance, it was less fetishy. Some of the other people who came later on who were like talking in this weird way about like, oh yes, I feel the quickening of the life within my womb.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, it was for at the beginning. It seemed like most of it was like they were really obsessed with really stupid, shallow things. Like you can't be feminine unless you wear high heels and stuff.
Yeah. Or
It's
yeah,
just them.
here's a picture of the closet from Great Gatsby. This is my closet, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, it's such a mess. It's not any better now. It's all bad. Everything is
It's
bad.
always some shit show. I
Well,
can't keep up with it anymore.
that's the type of thing I can jump in on. Yeah, everything is fucking terrible.
I can't keep up with like I can't keep up with the amount of terrible shit happening anymore.
Oh, you
You
can't.
know, back in the day, I mean, I'm sure if some people remember a guy named Common Filth, and he still does he's whatever, a
Oh, you
loser
guys are being gay
now.
about that? Hold on. No,
Yeah,
Is
when
he
I
yeah.
said
still
everything,
around?
listen, when I said everything is terrible, I meant like from the atomic level all the way up until, you go to pull out of the earth. I mean, at
Oh
the
yeah, cursed earth.
time everything has always been terrible. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's always it's broken. Everything's messed up. I was
yeah.
trying to explain this to my daughter when I
Oh,
was giving
that's
her like basically like you not a catechism, but you talk about like the whole Christian worldview and all that stuff. And I'm like, the new heaven and new earth stuff. She's like, but I like this earth. I'm like, hey, baby, this place is broken.
yeah.
Yeah, that's like the whole point. Like that's the whole basis of Christianity is this is all fucked. None of this was supposed to happen. We're cursed. This is bad. Like,
Cursed earth, my
Didn't
child.
the
Cursed earth.
didn't the Gnostics also say that, and then they like burned all their shit though?
Well, it's in a different
well,
way. They said like matter itself is like is cursed, not just
Isn't
like
that hold on? Isn't
the
that
the
like kind
state
of
of
all?
things.
Isn't that kind of all religions though? They're like, no, my way of saying everything is bad until you're dead is
Hey,
different than
that stuff.
yours.
The
somebody
minutia
has to be
matter.
right.
Yeah,
Nobody has to be right.
Somebody has
the
to be right.
minutia of the details matter. It's just like, oh well, if I generalize it enough, it's the same thing. Well, no, because the details matter. Obviously, they matter.
It doesn't. It doesn't seem to matter enough that I am going to trust you over some Asian fella telling me about
Well,
Buddhism.
well, it's your loss, buddy.
I guess, and I'll bet if you were born in freaking Asia, you'd have a different attitude towards it.
Oh man, that's a good. What is this 2004 level argumentation over here? Come on, now. If you were different, it would be different. So
Yeah, I think that's still a pretty valid point that if you grew
it's
up
not a valid point
entirely,
because okay, because I was not born to an Orthodox country, and I grew up an atheist.
yeah,
So
you
it's not
also
like
had, yeah, you also had like way too much exposure to the internet,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
sure.
that's why that happened. But
Oh yeah, no,
it's fine.
I totally grew up here and by here I mean the internet.
Yeah, I mean, me too.
When I first had a long conversation with my priest, he's like, "So where are you from? What's your cultural background?" And I was like, "Well, Father, I'm from the internet."
No, you had too much exposure to the internet. People like
That's literally what
underappreciate
that's me.
how much
Where I grew up.
exposure to the internet people actually had in such a short period of time. If you don't mind me asking, how old are you, and when did you convert to Orthodox?
I am 40. I
Okay.
converted when I was 32, 33, that
Okay.
era.
So not too long ago, when it became popular on the internet among right wing figures.
Actually, it was not as popular then. It was very
Sure.
not popular.
Yeah,
It was
It
like
got
it was
popular
not as popular.
in the last 4 years. It's blown up, but
Yeah.
back then I was the only dude going to the parish.
You weren't the only guy, but it's
And
been
not, in my area for sure.
sure. And I'm not trying to come at you. You try to come at me hot, and I'm just returning that.
I'm not coming at you hot. I'm a brown person. I always come at everyone hot.
They're just spicy people, okay?
Well, spicy means gay now, so don't say that.
Well, he might be. I don't know.
He can't be gay. He's Orthodox.
That's right. He's not gay. I've seen his children.
He's not
They're
Catholic.
cute. That's a good point.
And even then, he can't be gay until you're like high level.
It's true. He's not a Catholic priest or Episcopal, so we're probably good.
Dude, they even call it that. They're like a piss kid pool.
I literally just did a spit take. I like for
I don't know. He's got problems with that.
Well, the joke I've always had is eat pause Capalians, like
Sure.
pause, get AIDS, you know.
Oh, yeah. You want to get on me for
Yeah, I'll be here all
2004
night,
takes. Nice 2015. You listen. That was my last fucking dig at you. I just don't come at me.
No, it's completely fair. However, it's still funny.
Well,
But
subjective.
I just think it's great that Bryden is no longer the oldest guy around here. You know, there's an older old man here.
oh yeah.
Okay, get
Well,
off his fucking back. He's just 40. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
He's an old man.
I'm almost 40.
I'm an old man.
Yeah,
Pretty good
yeah.
impression, actually.
Old
I'm
man
officially old enough to go up and embarrass the teenagers in my church.
Dude, that does rule though. That is cool.
It's the coolest thing. I go up to them and like, this kid has a new shirt. I'm almost like, this guy's got drip. And they're like,
Oh no!
and they're like, don't never say that again. I mean, like, he's got the Riz, fellas.
Skibbity Riz, Ohio.
He's got the skibbity toilet Riz, fellas.
Oh no!
Damn, that does rule.
I like to do all the dumb uncle things that my uncle did to me. Like my kids are watching Pokemon, and I won't stop pronouncing it.
Wait.
What?
Are you sure you like to do all of the dumb
No.
uncle?
Okay, wait. What are you? Okay, wait. Stop. Halt. I was not molested by my uncle. Let's just make that clear.
And he's
Well,
like, by
okay,
the
not
way,
that
guys,
one. Okay, look. Can we
she's
just-
converted to Catholicism.
like, oh,
Look, one thing I'll give you guys, Orthodox guys, for is if you do rape choir boys, there's way less reports of it that I've heard about.
yeah, no, it just doesn't happen as much because our priests can get married,
It's probably important. But,
and I think that helps a lot.
well, do you
know,
think,
but
well,
then-
hold on. Do you think that the only reason people rape kids is because they're fucking horny? No, I think that
No.
a lot of these guys are
No.
just fucking gay.
No, but
dude.
it filters a bunch of guys. Okay, like the celibate priest thing, it's a filter for it becomes like a thing. So the dudes who show up are either 100% like legit, like I'm celibate because I'm holding my shit down for the Lord. And there's a dudes who are like, I'm celibate. You'd never catch me with a lady.
Well, then, but there's also
Wait, hold
this
on,
thing
it's-
though
that's-
where people are, they're thinking like, because I am gay, I can never get married, so I will go into
Some of
the
that too, yeah.
religious life, right? And then 10, 15 years down the road, they're a priest and they can't hold it in or something. They're
Yeah,
all messed up.
That's true too.
I would
But
But
there are
people
people who
will
just
go in
they
specifically because
walk into
they
it
can't get married. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
There's some people who do walk into it already like full of shit.
I'm sure. And people tell me they're the Jesuits, and this is the problem, and this is the problem, that and the problem. I don't care what the problem is because that's not my yard. I just care about like, okay, bad reputation here. Like guys, figure it out. But if they are walking in there and they're doing the lisp or they're saying I'm here to hold my shit down for the Lord, that's a weird quote to have. So you got DMX. You got DMX or gay pedophiles. I don't think that that's an accurate description of the Catholic Church, despite all their problems.
Well, I did know a couple Catholic priests who were like that, who were like,
DMX or
like-
pedophiles.
no, of the as you described, the DMX type dudes who were just like serious. They're like, I'm here to lock it up. And I also met people, and I met one in the Orthodox camp, although he was that's a long story. I'm not going to get into that on air. Who was faking it? He was fake. He was
That's
a
a shame.
fraud.
Well, there's
Well,
also the thing where you're going to have in positions of authority over children, certain people
yes, yes.
will
It
gravitate towards it. Like that's going to happen. Teachers,
predators
priests,
are
whatever. And
attracted
the
to high trust
problem,
situations that can
and the
exploit.
things,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, and the stories you hear about the Catholic Church, if you, it's always about the cover-ups, not about it happening, but the fact that nothing, no
No.
punishment was made, no one got excommunicated. That's when it makes the news. So it is happening pretty much anywhere you have like authority over children. The difference is how it's handled.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they ought to be killing these teachers too. You know,
yeah. They are just like forget about it. Just launch them into the sun.
Yep.
I don't want to waste rocket fuel. Yeah. I heard that rocket fuel and glitter are made from the same thing, and like, glitter
Real.
is pretty cool. I don't care how gay it is.
Pretty gay though.
Yeah, well, I know the gays stole that
It
too.
all ties together so well.
They stole our young boys and they stole glitter. We gotta, but we're not sending. I mean, we're not sending the gays to Mars. Okay, we need our best
Hey,
and brightest.
I need another Reddit story.
Okay.
We're running
This
on
is
fumes
from
here.
a mom group. Hello, moms. This may be controversial, but how do you stop baby from hitting milestones? My daughter is 6 months old and starting to crawl, but I don't want her to. I want her to stay my tiny little baby. And there's like a sad face, kind of.
Okay,
I
that's
don't.
hold on. Pause real quick. That's postpartum fucking whatever it's called, depression, right?
Yeah,
Mixed with some
maybe.
Munchausen by proxy shit. That's gotta call CPS. That's
Yeah.
crazy, dude. That's not good. Goddamn, where is her husband?
Whenever I see her getting up to crawl, I gently knock her over with my foot
Holy
until
fuck!
she gives up and just rolls around on the floor. But these last few weeks, she's getting so persistent. Please help a ma'am out. No judgment, please. Ma'am, as in mom. M-A-M.
Dude,
It was a book I read like this.
call the
There's a
police.
guy, and you probably heard of him. He's kind of like a whatever. He's a shithead, but I like his books. He's a sports writer, Drew Margery,
Oh,
and
Haven't heard of it.
I don't
he
think
wrote
so.
these
Hold
two
on.
novels that I like. These things kind of come out of nowhere for him. He's not really in his wheelhouse, but he just pop out these books. There's one called The Postmortal, where they develop a cure for aging. And so you take this gene therapy and you just stop aging. You can still die, but you don't get old anymore.
So
And
it
throughout the
sounds
course of
like
the book,
what?
huh?
This is.
Wait,
Uh,
wait, wait, listen. So what happens is, the course of the book, people are stop aging. Some people are trying to kill the people who are not aging anymore. But in general, the world's kind of moving on with it. Everyone's running out of resources. But this one lady gets arrested because she got a black market dose of this treatment and gave it to her 8 month old. And the baby's just like 8 months forever, and people notice, and they arrested her, and she's like, so what? I don't care. You can arrest me. I'm gonna be out in 35 years, and my baby will be waiting for me. And
Oh my
they ask,
gosh.
and so they ask her like, isn't part of the joy of having kids you see them grow up? He's like, yeah, I already had 3 kids, and they don't call me anymore, and one's in prison.
damn,
So I'm done that. I decided to have my baby, and she just becomes my cute baby forever. She's the cutest. Look at her.
dude. Okay,
Yeah, that's what I'm
so
thinking about.
I'm looking at this book right now, and when you first started talking about it, I thought this was some type of like transhumanist fucking philosopher, and then I finally got it pulled
No,
up.
no, it's
Yeah,
a novel.
it's a yeah finalist for the Philip K. Dick and Arthur C. Clarke Awards, Penguin Publishing. Yeah, that looks like a pretty good story. I was very confused at first because I thought, God damn it, what transhumanist author has fucking gotten into the zeitgeist of things again? Uh, so I was concerned at first, but that sounds like a really like cool story because like was it Harrison Bergeron? I love that story so much.
Yeah,
That's a great one, and this kind of sounds like that. I mean, not really,
yeah.
but in the same vein. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Uh,
uh-huh, uh-huh. I think if you like Harrison Bergeron, kind of like that kind of speculative, like pseudo sci-fi stuff, you probably like this book. He'd also and his other book, it's like my comfort book. I've listened to this book like the audiobook so many times. So the one time I finished it, I started over again called The Hike.
That it says author of the hike, so I was
The
gonna
Hike
ask
is
you what is
amazing.
that?
I cannot recommend The Hike enough.
Okay, well that's cool, and it doesn't look like it's too terribly long.
No,
Uh,
it's not too long.
Not like some big fucking trek where you gotta spend like 80 days.
Yeah, it's not like part one of a 24-book series where each one's like
Right.
1,000 pages. The same Brandon Sanderson over here.
I
It's
want.
too bad.
I I don't know who the fuck Brandon Sanderson
It's
is.
paperback fantasy stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, he writes like these giant door stopper books. If you buy one of the audiobooks, it's like 54 hours. It's like, oh,
That's the stuff I used to read when I was a teenager, just constantly. My favorite series
yeah,
is
same here,
15
same here.
books long, and it's like 1,000 pages per book. At first it was like 500 to 700 pages per book, and then they just slowly start creeping up until it's like this gigantic, like 1,500 page. Oh man, so
Well,
good.
man.
It's good.
I was into
Yeah,
Stephen
I got
King.
book one of the Stormlight Archive on audio, and I was like, one day I'm gonna start listening to this giant fucking thing.
Oh my gosh.
I
Legit
don't.
48-hour audiobook. Insane.
The longest book I ever read, I think like page by page, was The Road to Serfdom by Frederick von Hayek. But as a child, it was quite a thing to get through. I
Mm.
like Stephen King. And that's a big book. It's way too long. It's filled with a bunch of fucking bullshit. It's also not that good. Uh, like I mean, looking back, it's just not that good. I don't know. I still love Stephen King, but yeah, I want to check that out because like that it seems what your description of it, and yeah, print like 400 pages. That's a few hours
It's not too bad.
audiobook. You know,
It's a good book. It's a fun book.
it sounds good. Yeah, so let's give it. Maybe we'll call this episode Drew Margery.
I bet he name
The
searches.
well, I was gonna
I got
author
kind of
of
upset
author.
because I like his novels so much, and I find him on Twitter, and like he's a sports writer, so he's posting about sports, whatever. I don't care. But then he's like all this like Trump the arrangement shit, and I was like, oh man, this is so lame. Let me just read your books and ignore
Don't
you.
tell, bro. Don't tell me he's gay. God damn it. They're all fucking
Well,
lame.
yeah, it's like okay, let me just I'm detaching the author from his work here because just seems like kind of a lame dude. But
I
I know those books are fun.
I used to have to do that with my favorite artist of all time is Kanye West, now known as
Hmm.
Ye. And I used to he acts like a fucking jackass all the time, and I don't agree with everything that he says or does, or what he makes his wife dress like. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love tearing at them stitties, but uh, I for over a decade I've been like, well, I don't know, but he did make this latest album and it's amazing.
Can I get some
Luck,
nitrous now?
yeah, luckily he came around to my way of things, which is just being a MAGA hat wearing weird guy that talks about Jews and does drugs. I've grown out of that though. He is not. He has not grown out of it. I want to see
He's
him.
never gonna grow out of it. He's gonna get brain damage, and
He
soon
has
he will
brain
Yeah,
damage.
be.
He literally has
Yeah.
brain
he's
damage.
already got brain damage.
Yeah,
He
he's
can't grow out
fucked.
of anything.
No,
Yeah,
it's a shame.
he's gonna settle in.
Yeah, I don't know. Vultures 2 sucked. Um, that's why nobody's talking about it because it sucked. Vultures 1 yeah, had, a couple
I'll listen
tracks
to
on
hip
it.
hop.
Oh, I'm a big fan. I don't know.
Um, so my advice to this woman is to seek help, mental health resources. Perhaps I think people use therapy a little too fast these days, but
Therapy's stupid.
maybe check it out. Maybe some. Well, I think that what therapy is good for would be if therapists were willing to just say like, "Hey, you're screwing up. You're being real dumb right now." But unfortunately, most of them won't do that because they just want you to come pay more money to talk to them.
Yeah,
Well,
especially the ones that prescribe pills.
Well, that's
That's a
that's a whole other
psychiatrist.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Psychiatrists are different than
Yeah, but there's
therapists.
people who do both. There's a lot of people who do both.
Yeah. Well, and just there's never any there doesn't ever seem to be a question of like, hey, so what's going on in your environment that is
Yeah.
making this happen? It's just like, and sometimes they do ask like, oh, what's going on in your life that's happening? It's like this, and this. And it's like, oh, very clearly your environment is so shitty, it's ruining your life. I'm gonna prescribe you these drugs to get through it. It's like, how about you suggest she changes her environment?
See,
Perhaps.
if I was in charge of this, if Dr. Proctor's in charge of things, I would legitimately prescribe fucking anti-anxiety meds all the goddamn time. I would be like, oh, your environment is pretty shitty. We're going to get you on a focus program where you're going to, set some goals and try to achieve them, small goals at first, and then go on to get the fuck out of your environment. But you know what would really help you right now? Kratom, or in severe cases, benzos. Uh, I think chemicals are fucking fantastic for helping get people get out of fucking bad environments, because you got to be able to cope with that
Sure.
environment.
Yeah. No, I actually would agree with that, but there seems to be no emphasis at all on changing the environments. Like, I know so many people on 1 to 5 medications, and women talk to each other about what they talk about in therapy and psychiatry appointments and stuff.
You
And
have to
I've
just
never
set
heard any
goals.
of that going on. I've just never heard any of that going on where it's like, okay, maybe, I'll give you the medicine now to cope with it in the meantime, but you also should be taking these steps to extricate yourself from the situation or improve your situation. It's always just like, well, here's your dosage. Oh, it's not working anymore. Okay, things are getting worse. I'm gonna up your dosage. That's it. That's all
Yeah.
that happens.
Like, what was your name again? Oh, yeah. Okay, get the one with this dosage.
Right. That's crazy. The only way to fucking operate as a person is to have a big goal and several big goals, and then just to operate as, like today, I set and completed some pretty minor goals, and I don't feel great about them. I'm not gonna be happy about myself over them. That's the part that I usually miss of it, is I'm like, well, I got that done. Just set goals, do that, do them consistently, and then your life is not necessarily going to get better. But it could. At least you're doing that.
It's at the very least, it's a distraction. Something new, something else. You may
Yeah.
feel like you're working towards a goal. It should help even slightly just because of that.
Well, the
And
whole
also, I found that even if you can fix something very small, um, it helps. And it might clarify, like, oh, okay, well, maybe that wasn't the actual problem. Now I have a clearer idea of what the main root problem even is because I fixed that one.
sure, yeah, I agree with you. I just don't think that like, look, even if you fix all the small problems in your life, you're just gonna go find new fucking problems. That's a famous fucking quote, I think, or it's from a movie. I have no idea. It just stuck with me one time. You still have to do that. And therapy doesn't do that. Therapy is supposed to help you unroot things that you don't know about yourself. And it's never worked for me. I have a podcast. I do that all the time. I fucking send Abby
Yeah.
walls of text. I talk to plenty of people. If you don't have
Oh, yeah.
enough people to talk to, well, then you got a different problem. And I'll bet therapy is not going to fucking help you with that. Like,
No, but starting a podcast will. I mean, how many therapy sessions have I had on air?
here you go.
A lot. A lot. Everyone has listened. That listens
Everyone
to the
who's
show.
anyone has listened to every
So
episode.
Yeah.
there's like 30 people that know everything about my emotions and my trauma, okay?
Start a
They're my
podcast.
therapists.
It's so cheap to start a podcast.
It is
Don't
really.
go to
You
therapy.
just
I tell myself constantly that I'm gonna start the podcast again, my podcast.
What was your
I'm like,
podcast?
yeah, maybe I could if I get time. I'm like, I just don't have.
Have I? Well, you don't have
Maybe
to
when my
say it if
kids
you
are,
don't.
huh?
I'm just trying to figure out if I listen to it. You don't have to mention it if you don't want.
He already has while you were in the bathroom. It's Rome is Burning.
Oh. I don't know if I listened to it or not. I drink a lot. I might have. Wait, wasn't
Well,
that also a fucking... That was also an ESPN show.
Yeah, there was a guy called Jim Rome is
Yeah.
Burning. Yeah. But his was attached to his name and mine wasn't. And
Are you sure you're
I
not
don't
Jim Rome?
care anyway because I decided the name of my podcast because I asked a thread on 4chan's poll in like 2015 what the podcast should be called, and they told me Rome was Burning, so I picked that.
Wait. Were you a name fag on fucking 4chan, though?
No, I
Okay.
just went to 4chan to ask the question.
Okay. Just making sure.
He was about to tear into you. You could hear it in his voice.
No, I was about to
What kind of
delete
man do
the...
you take me for?
I didn't take you for that, man. I was gonna delete the episode and go, we cannot have anyone like this on. What a fucking goober. I
And I'm
will...
This
this
is-
fucking loser.
This is the one that finally does it. Oh my goodness.
It's like, that'll be enough of that, but yeah, yeah.
The most
Well, you-
successful name fag on the Chans was Q anyway.
You ought to grab Orc Brand and just do something with him.
Well, he was on the old
Mhm.
podcast.
He was good.
Yeah,
All right.
that
Well,
dude's a force of nature.
if we are over an hour, so if we want to do a little chit chat off the air
Yep,
about this podcast that I feel like I probably listened to at some point. I feel like I've met Rick somewhere on the internet before.
Possibly. Who knows?
But you know, we
Rick,
do have the
is there
bonus.
Is there anything you want to plug before we move over to doing the bonus for Monday? Your
Um,
Twitter or something?
My Twitter is at hoodlumriku.
Oh, is that a Japanese thing? Are you an anime dork?
No,
Okay.
they. That's what this guy called me. Hua, this Korean fellow.
Okay, I was
I'm
gonna
Rick,
ask,
but
was it a guy? Oh, hello,
But-
Riku.
but
That's
yeah, so he's
exactly
like,
how he talks.
oh
I've heard him talk.
Riku, and so it was Hoodlum Rick, but then that account got banned, so I just called the new account Hoodlum Riku because he could call me Riku, and now it's just like it's kind of stuck there. I don't want to change it now. It's called Hoodlum Riku because my wife said that when I was I told her stories about my youth, and she's like, you were a hoodlum. I would have never hung out with you.
It's just too
I'm like,
pure.
you're a freaking nerd. What am I gonna tell you?
Dude, you should call her nerd. When you get inside after your phone dies because you're doing a podcast in your car and that does anger me, you should go in there and just call her a nerd. You should be like, nerd, and then go to bed, say nothing.
Well, I
That's-
called her a normie before.
What?
My beloved normie wife.
Oh, I thought you said nori, and I was thinking of like the Japanese, like,
Jeez, man. I'm not that much of a weeaboo. Am I?
Baku,
All right.
Damate.
Daifuku mochi.
I know what I know what damate means.
Oh my goodness. To hear them badly say Japanese words more, you can go to
Oh,
patreon.com.
Abby, do you know what? Do you just know how to pronounce it better? Please,
Oh, Abi-san,
For-
Abi-san.
please,
not- no.
Abi-san.
No,
Why don't
we're not
you-
doing this.
For the definitely not for the editing and the AI. Please explain how damate is said.
No.
What does Damati mean?
It means
I don't even
stop.
know. I don't know because I don't watch much anime. I watch Chinese wuxia. I watch wuxia.
Listen, look. I'm about to lose friends. If I watch anime, it's dubbed.
The
The
Yeah.
dubs are good now, man. They say 20 years anymore. They say 20 years ago. The dubs are good now.
the only fucking anime that I like is Cowboy Bebop. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we're going to end the fucking show on. The
Okay, well, hang on.
BFO
I was trying to promote
Blues.
the Patreon. No, let me talk. Okay, for as low as $1 a month. Okay, $1. That's less than like anything else you can buy right now. You can get up to 4, guaranteed 3, but usually 4 bonus episodes a month on Mondays at patreon.com/here to help podcast. Follow me on Twitter at OctoAbby with an I. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and have a great week, secure in the knowledge that we are with you and we're the only ones you can trust are here to help.
There's a really
Oi.
folk blues.